Hi, my name's Hunter Baker, and I'm a student at PAC. I've been here for 2 years. Before that, I was at Texas State in San Marcos for also a 2 year. And then before I came to school at PAC, I was studying to be an actor over there at Texas State. And it was really awesome. It was a lot of fun. The program was really great. Um, I had to take a break from it for a while, so I had to come over back home at PAC and start over again, and then take some classes here or there. I took some singing classes, some acting classes. I also took a few other cores and stuff. The acting classes over here are really worth it. The singing classes are also worth it as well. And a lot of our plays that we've done have been really fun. So far, I've been in 2 musicals, and I want to say about 3 regular plays, and it's been so much fun doing all of that. And so I want to get onto the topic of, you know, what we're doing in class. So we're taking a script analysis class, and in this class we're talking about The Rising of the Moon by Lady Gregory. And this is a play about Irish nationalism. And so what was happening was the Irish were being oppressed because the Brits did not want them in Britain anymore. They did not want them to be a part of Britain, anything like that. So then Ireland had to separate themselves. And so this was a catalyst to some of that. And it was showcasing, what was wrong with the societal issues of Irish nationalism, right? And so it's about a sergeant who is a policeman and a beggar man. And the beggar man, he takes this sergeant on a completely emotional journey, and he just flips him a whole 180 using songs and nostalgia, and all this is complete motive, and he's using tactics. He's using a bunch of different tactics to try and change his mind, and that's how you achieve your goal as an actor. You use tactics and motive to really obtain that goal. So we learned to locate the climax of the play by utilizing our discussions in the classroom, and we learned a lot about the literary devices and the denotative and connotative language. Now, denotative language is the dictionary's way of saying it, and then connotative language is, an agreed upon, societal term, right? So a societal definition, really. And so I'll give you an example, right? So there is dead. So when, death means an absence of life. So the word dead in the denotative sense is an absence of life. But when you get to the connotative sense, that is, this place, there's nobody here, it's super quiet, it's dead. And so it's just the same word, but it's got 2 completely different meanings, and that can take a line a completely different direction as an actor, right? And then we talked about verse and prose, and when it comes to verse is really poetry, and when it comes to prose is like normal speech. So I'm talking to you, there's no real structure to any of what I'm saying, because it's all just coming out, right? And so it's all kind of coming from here. And when we talk about verse is directly from the heart, right? Shakespeare uses a lot of verse. He'll jump back between verse and prose a lot. And so when you look at Shakespeare's, the people who have the verse, they are usually royalty, or they are speaking from the heart. They are lovers, talking to each other in verse. And that's why they're rhyming together. That's why it's like, wow, they're rhyming, right? And so then we go into things like prose. And with prose, that is the more intellectual people. Sometimes it is the people who are dumb, right? So some of the like clowns or the fools in Shakespeare's plays will be talking in prose because they really have no structure. It's just normal speech. They're just talking, but they're talking from here. And that's the difference between verse and prose. Verse is from the heart, and prose is from the brain. It's a little weird. It's a bit of a weird concept, but I learned that at a workshop over at Texas State, and I mean, it was just like completely changed my outlook, and it's just so cool because my whole view of Shakespeare was what changed after that. I understood him a lot more, right? Even though, you know, I was able to understand him before, but it just made everything so much more in depth, and I got the playwright's intent just because of knowing the meaning behind verse and prose, right? And so in this class we also talk about sort of like views of the philosophers, right? So we've got Plato, and his view is a view of mimesis, right? So what we do is what we see we create, okay? And so he believed that we would take the imagination and create a fictional reality, right? And then this fictional reality was like a poison to society because now society has this different outlook because of this work of art. It's changed them to think that that this is real, which it is not, because it's a completely fictional piece, right? And then there is Aristotle's view. And Aristotle said that, you know, we're creating theater, and we're showcasing feelings of pity and fear to alleviate that from the audience member, right? So they can feel like they don't have to act upon any of these or do any strange stuff because it's all being done on the stage, and it's like a stress relief. That's how he viewed theater. Aristotle viewed theater as a stress relief. So I want to talk about a few places to visit then, right? So we talked about the class, got a little too in depth there, but I digress. We'll talk about places to visit. So I mean, you can visit the Riverwalk. It's real nice. It depends on what time you visit too. So at the nighttime, there's a lot more lights and stuff out there. During Fiesta, we've got like floats and stuff, which is real cool. I work out there, so I kind of see these things quite a bit, and it's real pretty out there too. The river passing by. I mean, granted, it is pretty dirty, but I mean, what river isn't, right? So we also have like places like the Museum of Cultures. It's UTSA's, like, it's an institute, but UTSA also has a museum portion, and I mean, it'd be a great place to visit just to get an idea of the heritage of Texas, right? Where we kind of came from. And then we've got Old Pearsall Park. I mean, I would just go over there just to get up on the top of the hill because, like, the view is really, really nice. And it's not difficult to get all the way up there, right? And at the same time, there's, like, a few, like playgrounds around and stuff like that. So, and skate park. So if you want to bring your skateboard, or if you want to like hop on the swings or like a jungle gym, why not, right? And then on my free time, you know, if I have any, I like to just brainstorm plays. I'm trying to be a writer, and so I really just want to focus on brainstorming with a lot of different people, and I really want to get a team together. And then I also just like to talk about poetry, and I mean, just relax. Like, doesn't everyone like to just relax? Alrighty, well, that's my video. Thanks, you guys.